San Antonio Spurs forward Keldon Johnson is expected to miss the start of the preseason. According to the team on Saturday, they announced that Keldon did get injured. He dislocated his right shoulder in an open scrimmage into practice. Some other reporting came out. Jeff McDonald was actually the first one to break this of the Express News. He broke the story. Then Tom Osborne just recently on Twitter, he also works for the Express News. He reported that Keldon sustained the injury 2 weeks ago, and the team is confident, or Keldon's confident himself, that he'll make it back for the start of the regular season. So let's just go through this news. Again, this is a very short video, just going through this news. The impact. So Keldon, again, he's expected to miss all 5 preseason games. The Spurs, though, I do want to note in their release to the media, did say the start of the preseason. So again, they didn't say all 5 games, but they said the start of the preseason. So we do know that the Spurs have a 5-game preseason schedule. They're going to start October 2nd at Houston and then finish on October 13th against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We do want to note that Media Day is on Monday coming up on September 26th, and then from Tuesday to the rest of the week, next week on September 27th is when training camp officially begins, when the Spurs start actually practicing. So if Keldon makes it back by the opening game of the regular season, that is going to be on October 19th against the Charlotte Hornets. So you know, there's quite a ways for him to try to rehab and get back to full health. So now let's just look at some guiding questions. You know, what's next? So you know, the key question for these first 5 preseason games and also the practices is who's going to start in Keldon's place. We did expect Keldon to be a starter this year. He was last year. So you know, that's the first question. You know, do the Spurs maybe stick with more of a traditional wing? So maybe put somebody like Joe Wieskamp, maybe one of the rookies like Malachi Branham gets a spot in the starting lineup, or maybe they even go, you know, a little bit bigger. Maybe they have a Doug McDermott or maybe a Jeremy Sohan starting his place. So that's one of the first key questions, kind of who starts in this place for the preseason. The second question is, you know, we expected Keldon, being the next leading scorer from DeJounte Murray on last season's team, to be that number 1 option this year. So now it looks like, you know, the number 2 option was supposed to be Devin Vassell. So now Devin's obviously going to probably become that number 1 option on the offensive end for the team in the preseason. So, you know, who's that next player who becomes the number 2? Is it a player like a guard, like maybe like Josh Primo, like if they give him minutes like Blake Wesley, or is it maybe one of the bigs? Maybe they give Jakob Poeltl more opportunity to try to, you know, score in the post or score on those pick and roll options. So again, you know, that's another key question for the preseason is you know, who becomes that number 2 behind Devin Vassell. And then the third question is kind of, you know, how does the team adjust once Keldon does return? So again, they're going to get to play most likely 5 games in the preseason without Johnson, have a lineup intact, and then all of a sudden, as the season starts, you're going to, I don't know if Coach Pop will bring him off the bench initially, or if they're just going to throw him right out there in the starting lineup, and then, you know, and then things kind of the lineup needs to shuffle a little bit. So again, these are all questions that we're going to see for Keldon. The good news is that he's not, you know, it's not a critical injury where he's going to have to miss months or even the entire season. Again, he is expected to be back with that dislocated shoulder by the start of the regular season. So again, you know, the regular season, the first 10, 15 games is when teams are kind of getting, figuring out who they are at the beginning. So it is like perfect timing for him to at least come back and join his teammates as they're barely figuring out who they are as a team. So it's a quick update on Keldon Johnson's shoulder injury to miss the preseason start.